the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
How good is that?
Hi, welcome to the podcast.
I'm only coming on this podcast today if you promise to give me a quality review of the Taylor Swift concert.
What do you mean quality? Do you mean I have to say the concert was quality?
Because I don't want to miss a thing.
Oh, that's disappointing. I thought you were going to break into a Taylor song. What would be a fitting Taylor track for a quality podcast review
Well,
on Taylor?
I'll tell you one person that's interested. Me, hee, hee. I'm the only one I want.
That's actually really good.
Thank you so much.
That was actually really good.
Do you know who else is interested? You.
No. I don't think
wow. Sorry, mate.
I think you were doing so well, you
Sorry,
needed to stop.
guys.
Anyway, we are going to talk everything Taylor. And I'm also going to tell you about the craziest thing I saw at the concert in the seats beside me. I've never seen anything like it.
Okay.
And I've been to some crazy concerts.
All right.
But she was committed, I'll tell you that.
All right, one wild fan. You'll hear more about that on the podcast. Enjoy.
This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Hey, look at this one here. I wanted to bring this article up because there's so many people that panic about these things, and there are things that we do in day-to-day life. People go, oh, don't do that, it'll give you cancer. And there's a list, all right? And for a long time, and basically everything that I'm going to list here says that there is not a strong enough link in the research they've done to be able to put that one thing and have a result of cancer. Okay. So mobile phones, talking on your mobile phone.
Yeah.
That one's been famous for saying the electronic magnetic radiation, the waves from your phone will give you cancer.
And does it?
No, it doesn't. You're fine to talk on your mobile phone.
Are you sure?
Not while driving.
Or flying a plane.
Or flying a plane, don't do that. Although, while high energy radiation can cause cancer by damaging DNA, you will not receive this from using your mobile phone.
What do you get it from then? Like living under the towers
yes,
or
something like that. What about this one? And I support this in a big way and have argued it with my wife over and over again. Hey, you burnt the toast. Burnt toast will not give you cancer.
Oh, that is so good because
It's great. I love
burnt
toast.
It reminds me of my pa,
past.
who died.
He's dead.
And when I have burnt toast and I can smell bacon cooking in the morning, it reminds me of Nan and Pa's house in Cessnock.
Mm.
Anyway, so it's okay to eat burnt toast. Oh, yeah. Are you going to do this? Because you're not prepared for this break. Don't copy everything I say to distract from the fact that you're crap.
Burnt toast, charred root vegetables, roast potato, they contain a chemical called something, alkalinity, and that occurs naturally in foods when they're cooked at high temperatures.
No, what's it called? What's the black bit on toast called?
Well, they all have...
Vegemite. Oh, good one, Kate!
How do I say that, Ms. Ritchie? You say that and then I'll say it.
Oh, God, you're good, Kate.
You reckon?
Take your finger off it.
Alkaline. You're ruining my break by not being...
Acrylamide.
That'll do.
Acrylamide.
Yeah,
Acrylamide.
that's what I said, Tom. All right, what about this? It says here, and I would argue this one, that stress, although famous for causing cancers, said that there's a study that was done over 100,000 women in the UK, no consistent evidence link that stress will give you cancer.
I disagree because I think that if not only stress, but if you don't deal with issues in your life and you don't let those things pass through your body and you instead let them sit in your body like poison, it will give you cancer.
Okay, Kate Ritchie's overridden that one. Artificial sweeteners is on the list as well. Kate's not a doctor, but artificial sweeteners won't give you cancer either. And drinking from a plastic bottle. Great news, guys. You're not going to get cancer from that either.
Even if you leave it sitting in the car for a few days and it warms up. What if you heat up Tupperware in the microwave?
It says do it. Actually, it advises you to do it. So that's great. I'm going to go and stress at home with a can of fizzy drink.
And smoking, fine?
Fine. Cancer gone.
The Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
My God, was it a big show on the weekend? Some of us were lucky enough to go along once. Some of us were lucky enough to go along twice.
I know, that was me.
Are you ready for it?
Hey, this is Taylor Swift.
What an honor and a privilege it is to say these words to you tonight. Sydney, welcome to the Eras Tour.
On Nova.
No, welcome to you, Taylor.
No, welcome
no,
to you.
welcome to you.
And please don't ever leave. I mean, what she has done for the country, I think, even if you're not going to the concert, you're not
It's
Sydney.
not Anzac Day, mate.
No.
What she has done for this nation.
No, I'm not trying to compare
I know
it
what
with
you
anything
mean.
else. I'm looking at it as its own entity,
Mm-hmm.
and I will be able to reflect and debrief a little bit more on it during the week. I think we're all a bit exhausted at the moment, but that stadium, when you walked in there on one of the nights, and there are still people who are going to be going this evening. Even little Olivia from Scone, who we took the tickets to last week, I think she's going tonight. It was absolutely electric. There was such a sense of unity, and everyone, the person I went with, who was the lovely Jess here on Saturday evening, I think what she said to me was that in a stadium like that, usually when you're walking into it, you're going to see a football game.
Yep.
And there are winners and losers, and there are people at each other, and there's a sense of, like everyone's antagonising each other. But on a night like a Taylor Swift concert, everyone is there for the same reason, to celebrate. They all love the same thing.
Brings everyone together. It's almost like the Olympics. Brings everyone together.
Can you break that down for me? Because that was your catchphrase last week.
It's the entire world coming together, and here, no matter what where your interests lie, you couldn't get away or avoid the excitement and the hype. And because it's such a positive thing to be part of, that was the Taylor Swift effect.
Okay, that's enough.
Thank you. I'll sit over here.
For everybody else, feel free to use that Olympics term throughout the week. Of course, when you get to the concert, Taylor was sharing that precinct with Blink-182. I didn't quite realise that was where the Blink-182 concert was as well. So on the Friday night when I rocked up, there were a few people wandering around that I thought, oh, that's a star. Gee, Taylor Swift really does reach all ends of the spectrum.
We've got 13-year-old girls, and then we've got neck tattoos.
Yeah, and then we've got
that's interesting.
3 guys chugging schooners.
Oh, having a couple of black rats.
In long socks. I have to tell you a funny story. On Friday when I went with my girlfriend Mizpah, this is such a daggy mum moment when you first go in and they give you the flashing bracelets.
Yep.
And I pulled the little... Firstly, I didn't even know you had to pull the tag out to get them working.
Okay, sure.
And we pulled the tag out to get them working. We're shaking them. And like sometimes they're flashing and sometimes they're not. And then I thought maybe my battery's not working. And then I had this epiphany that, I'm not in control of the bracelet. They're controlling the bracelet.
They've been around for a while. I mean, Coldplay did it 10 years ago.
And I was thinking, that'd be right. I come all this way to the Taylor Swift concert and my bracelet's not working.
I've spent the money. Now I'm going to have to take it to Mr. Minute and get the battery changed.
Oh, what a moron. I did get to hear my favourite song, The One. I had tears on both nights that I heard that.
Invisible String?
No, The One.
Cool.
And then, of course, The Chance. We've done podcasts around it.
Yep.
Educate.
Your language on Friday was terrible.
With Jess and Lizzie teaching me about when I have to jump in, when I have to shout at the stage, when I have to ask certain questions.
Can you talk us through the midnight one, just so everybody completely understands?
Which one was that?
Where you go, hey, what time is it?
Oh, that's style.
What time is it?
Okay, at the beginning of the song, you're meant to say, Taylor, what time is it? And she goes, midnight. See, that kind of thing. All right, I wasn't strong on all of the chants. Let's have a listen to how I went with this one.
You missed it.
That's me saying to Jess, what do I have to say after the moment is gone?
Well, it's meant to happen before, yep.
Yeah, so that was...
Good start.
That was not a success, although... When it came to delicate, when it came to the little swear word that I had threw out on air last week, and I was practicing and I got it right. I did get it right on the Friday night with my daughter. I said swearing was okay just at the Taylor concert. Let's hear how I went on Saturday with the winners.
Ready? I need something. Any promise I think I've been practicing. Go! You can make me a dream.
That's me screaming. Yes, and then actually applauding myself quite much louder than anyone.
So leading the chant with 82,000 people, let's go.
Yes.
Let's go, Rich.
Now, I want to get to something that I saw that was just wild, and I didn't know, I couldn't believe my eyes in the crowd. But before that, let's visit the moment where there's the track by Taylor called You Should Have Said No.
Yep.
Is that right? I'm just looking to Jess for the nods. I still don't feel confident.
Oh, we all should have said no.
And the nah, you know, they're using the Australian kind of language and the broad accent to answer. Have a listen to how she explained that and did it on stage with her dancers.
This song incorporates the word no several times. The choice is yours. You can sing it American like me if you want, or you can just be yourselves. And you can say, you should have said nar.
Actually sounded like your accent. It sounded very Campbelltown. No. Didn't it? A little bit Summer Bay about it, Tom. You would
I don't
agree.
know if I need to be offended. Don't
be offended. She did really
I like
well.
the way I sound
like
because
you.
I don't have to listen to me too often. That's why I never listen to the podcasts or to the show because I can't stand the way I speak sometimes.
Should have said no.
Should have said no. And then it was very funny. The dancer did do it that way, or her backup singer.
Yep.
So she had all the crowd on side.
I reckon she would have practiced that in the hotel room the entire time.
I was thinking about when they would have done that backstage.
Daddy, does that sound like I'm getting it right? No.
She actually on the Friday night said something around one of the other words that she loves the way we pronounce it. She must just like the Australian accent.
Well, she teed up that other guy who said, tell him he's dreaming.
Yes. Well, that's what they did. That's what they did last night. They did the yeah nah on Friday night.
Right, okay.
Saturday night. And the other word that she loves the way we pronounce it is Taylor, because of course in the US people say Taylor. And she said, "But you guys are so cute. Like you're my favourite."
Don't talk down to us, Taylor.
No, she wasn't. It wasn't.
But you guys are so cute.
It wasn't condescending. It was actually like the stadium lit up because she loves the way we say Taylor.
Yeah, as long as she wasn't talking down to me. I bought 4 tickets at $400 a pop. So.
Anyway, do you want to hear what I saw?
Okay, here we go.
And I want to know where you've ever had to do this, where the craziest place you've done it, because we had a box next to us because I was taking the people into the suite and there was this wild group of girls beside us. Jess, you can back me in here, right?
Yeah. Kate might have asked to swap seats at one point.
No, I didn't. But they were like amazing sequined frocks. They were dancing on the chairs. There was a very quiet, subdued family behind them who I think were a bit like, oh God, we got the wild mums in front of us. At this point, I didn't even know they were mums. They were doing their like almost erotic dancing with each other. Okay. I couldn't take my eyes off them. I had to remind myself that Taylor was here.
I should have said no.
And then I look over and there's one girl in the front row who I thought was taking her dress off. And after I'd seen the way they were partying, it didn't surprise me, but I'm thinking the security is about to arrive. And then I realised this woman who only moments before I had seen standing on the chair erotically dancing with her friend. Come on, Jess, that's what was going on, wasn't it?
Oh, very much
she
so.
took her dress off.
Gyrating.
She did. She had her dress off. But she was
me.
sitting like this, back in her chair, and I could see her bosoms. And then...
Do you mean she had her breasts out at the concert?
Yeah, but do you know what she was doing, the poor thing? She was taking a moment during style to express milk. I'm not joking. So one moment she's like this. No. She's up on the chair.
Oh.
Dancing.
Like that.
Yeah.
And then the next minute... I'm acting it out here in the studio.
Minute.
I realise this is not a visual.
No one can see it. Neck minute, milk us around.
And then completely like great sequin frock, like a little mini thing matching with her friend. And the poor woman was not going to let anything get in the way of her seeing Taylor Swift. There's obviously a baby at home, and she was going...
on the double pump. Oh my God.
I couldn't hear it over the song, but that's what I would imagine.
10 guys had lined up for a drink.
You can't say those jokes. You can't actually make jokes about...
Well, if she's dancing erotically, Kate, the guys would have been looking at her thinking, hang on a minute, what happens next?
No, they wouldn't have. They would have been looking at her thinking,
my God.
look at this woman having an amazing time, and she's ticking all the boxes. She's a mum. She's an erotic dancer. She's a Taylor Swift fan.
Did you have her breast beaded at all?
No, I wasn't looking. I gave her a medal for not letting anything get in the way of seeing Taylor Swift. So if you are listening this morning, girlfriend, 10 points from me.
10 points for milking at Swift. That is awesome. Well done.
This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Around our place, bit of a disaster Saturday morning, and this is so bad for the selfie world. I smashed a giant mirror in our little gym that we have set up downstairs on Saturday.
What did you do?
It's a 6-foot mirror, Kate Ritchie.
Were you doing bicep curls into it?
No. It looked at me and said, I shouldn't have to put up with this.
I know.
And it shattered itself on the spot.
They could hear you coming down the stairs. Dum, 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 dum.
The mirror became nervous.
Hook up.
I'm not going to have a look at this again, am I?
Oh, please don't do deadlifts in front of me
Anyway, we'll
again.
get back to why the mirror smashed in a moment's time. But tactically, you'll see some guys in relationships. Tommy, I don't know if you've ever attempted this.
Yeah.
Where you deliberately do a job bad, a bad job, so you don't have to do it again. That's not how you stack the dishwasher. All right, I'll do it from now on.
Is that really a thing?
I believe it is.
I hate the idea that I mean, because I know it's part of the discussion, you know, men versus women in the household, and he doesn't do this.
He doesn't do that.
But I would really like to have more faith in men.
Well, do you know what? There's a fine line too, because sometimes guys just aren't great at things, and that can happen. So, you know, one night I was left in charge of putting on the dishwasher, right? And I didn't turn it on. We woke up the next day, we had dirty dishes. From then on, the call was made. That's it. From now on, I touch the dishwasher. I turn it on. Great.
Who you what? Yeah, Lisa.
Yep. That's
do you know
fine.
what?
You do that bit.
Isn't there a term around that called weaponized incompetence?
Weaponized
Yeah.
Where did you get that from?
From Jess.
Jess just wrote it down.
She wrote it down.
Weaponized incontinence.
No, incompetence.
Right.
Which that's fantastic because it describes exactly what it is. I'm going to pretend that I'm a big Dumbo.
Yep.
And as a result, I'm using it as a weapon against you.
So,
you think you're winning, Lisa, by being in charge of the dishwasher.
Go for it.
But really, who's the winner?
So I'm not allowed to put the dishwasher on anymore because I can't do that. So then I had the other day, I put a white load on with a dark T-shirt in there, and the T-shirts went grey.
Yep.
Okay, I'm not allowed to touch the washer anymore.
Oh, great. What else have you got rid of?
Washing machine. So that's out of my job
That's no
as
longer
well.
your department. What about the dryer?
No, I'm fine with the dryer.
So
at
no
this
laundry.
stage.
Oh, you can go in there.
Yeah, although I broke the little fold-out drying rack as well.
The clothes
that we
horse.
put the clothes horse. Yep, we put the clothes on. So that I don't touch the clothes horse anymore. So my jobs and duties and roles around the house diminishing at 100 miles an hour. So slowly I'm ticking them off. Different parts of the house. Washing the lunch boxes.
Yeah.
I washed them, but I didn't dry them, so they weren't ready for the next day for the lunches to be made. Well, I'll do them from now on if you can't. Alrighty. We tick that off. Lunchbox drying. Done. So I'm moving really well as she gets madder and madder about the jobs I'm not.
But you're laughing like you're winning.
Yeah, I am winning.
But in actual fact, your life is getting harder because, as we know, happy wife, happy life.
I'm weaponising at this stage.
Okay.
So the thing was with the mirror that I smashed for 7 years bad luck. Is that what you get if you smash a mirror? It was a huge mirror, like 6 foot, but the light switch is just inside underneath the mirror, so the mirror's leaning against the wall.
Well,
so
that's not very well designed.
No,
and
it's
quite
not.
dangerous for children.
Thank you for pointing that out.
You need to have it glued to the wall.
So I'll never install a mirror again. That's not my work. So I've gone to turn the light switch off, and I've switched it off, but my hand has knocked the mirror on the way out, and as I've kept walking, the whole thing's fallen over and smashed all over the floor. That's my favourite mirror. So now...
Saturday morning.
Yeah. Then I got the comment, fine, I'll do the light switches now. So I can't even turn a light switch. Sorry, honey, that you're in the dark again, but I don't do light switches.
The Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Just recognising the fact that Taylor Swift has another show to go. Like, she's on tonight again. 3.5 hours the show goes for.
I was thinking of her when I woke up yesterday morning. I was lucky enough to be able to go on Friday and Saturday night, and I was feeling a bit weary, and my thoughts travelled to Taylor, and I thought, oh, that poor girl.
I know, and
she's going to have to get up and go to that concert again tonight.
And then
she's going again.
I jumped online, and my thoughts travelled to Travis Kelce. He got back to Vegas and was forced into a strip club where he was surrounded by scantily clad women. And I thought, how's he going to do this night after night?
Do you know what? I don't want to give Travis too much energy today.
Okay.
I don't think I haven't thought about the fact that he rushed in and then rushed out. But there are some big discussions to be had around about that department.
Yeah, he popped in for pre-drinks and then took off. Michael and Kellyville, welcome to the show. What did you want to talk about, Mick?
I just realised that I shared something with the great man Tom.
Oh, yeah.
I turned the big 5-0 today.
Oh, Mick from Kellyville. Congratulations.
Yeah, I know, I made it, just.
What are you doing for your birthday, mate? You getting out for a steak tonight or anything?
Actually, I am.
Wow.
Actually going down to the local golf club and celebrating it with the family.
Oh, that'll be lovely. Is there a party? Did you do something on the weekend, or are you just tonight, a quiet one?
Well, I actually did celebrate my 50th with a whole lot of scouts, because we had a reunion camp that we went to Korea where we had the massive heat wave and everything else.
What?
Sorry, you took scouts as in
we had a week-to-5 Korea camp.
You went to Korea with scouts. Sorry, there's so much information.
I'm just trying to compute.
And that's when the big, was it a typhoon or a hurricane came through? It was a couple of months ago, wasn't it?
That's right.
Yeah, so you celebrated ahead of time.
Yeah, so we had the reunion camp, so everyone wanted to get back together and talk about the memories, and we celebrated all that. We went out to dinner and had a great night.
That's a lovely thing to do.
Tell me a little bit of birthday celebration. You got something there for Mick?
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to send you to Vegas with Travis Kelce, so have a wonderful... why don't we do it? Family pass to Raging Waters, Sydney, for you, Mike.
A little bit more subtle.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, mate. Good on you, Erin in Winston Hills. Welcome to the show, Erin. What did you want to chat about?
Good morning.
Good morning, Erin.
My mum and I were at the Taylor Swift concert with Kate on the weekend, and we wanted to say thank you.
Oh, wow.
Erin, I remember you actually. I think you were in the row, you were just sitting to my left, weren't you? Just behind me.
We were just behind.
Oh, thank you so much. Did you have a great night? I have to say, people kept asking me what the night was like with all of the listeners, and you were all so wonderful and so grateful and so excited and dancing. Like it was just great.
It was so amazing, and we all brought our mums as well, so that was very
Isn't
special.
that awesome? Do you know, Erin, I loved it. I was a little bit disappointed in the pre-show radio show that happened. I was listening on the way out, and when you and Jess had your radio show, and you were going through the chants, and I heard you yell out the line with the B word in it again. What's the line?
We don't need to do it again.
We don't need to say it. Erin, did you hear Kate and some of her chants at the concert?
Kate did all the chants, but no one knows the sanity.
Okay, that's
Erin,
good to know.
I don't know who worded you up, but that was a great answer. Thank you so much for looking after me.
Glad you could be there, Erin.
Yeah,
I love that you enjoyed the show.
Thank you so much. You were lovely. Hi to your mum. Let's go to Carol in Canterbury. Good morning, Carol. What do you want to talk to us?
Kate. Morning, Whipper. Happy Monday.
You too,
Thank
Carol.
you. What do you want to chat about?
I've got a question for you. Now that Tay-Tay's leaving our shores, what's the next big thing Sydney's going to latch onto, do you think?
Well, Mardi Gras coming up for Easter is going to be huge. And then we roll into... Who are the other stars coming to town, Tommy?
Well, Pink's coming back.
Pink's coming back. We're giving away Pink tickets today on the show.
Yeah, when you hear the double play.
We've got a double play. You're pumping out a double play, are you, mate?
Yeah, you bet,
When
mate.
you hear that double play, get yourself double tickets.
I have to say, I'm not quite sure I'm not talking about pink here, but what I'm saying is that it's going to be very hard for anything
to match that
to match Taylor for a while. I think there will be a lot of people with a bit of a Taylor hangover. The come down.
Nickelback touring at all, Tommy, or anything like that?
No, Tom Jones is coming, so that's pretty cool.
Tom Jones.
I think we need to talk about like an event or something that gives us the sense of community that Taylor has. I don't think we need to find it.
It is an Olympic year.
Oh, it is
my
an
God,
Olympic year.
guys,
Maybe a bit of that.
We're gonna. Do you know what? I referred to Taylor Swift as being like the Olympics in that everybody gets behind the theme and they're so excited and it brings everyone together. Nothing has bonded a city like Taylor Swift has in recent times. Am I right, sisters?
I agree. And do you know what I hate about myself is that I heard you say the Taylor Olympics in the office last week, and then I found myself using that reference on like Friday, and as it was coming out of my mouth,
I'm quoting that idiot.
Oh no, Kate! Please stop.
Hang on a minute. Michelle the Minx on the Central Coast. Hello, Mish Mish.
Hello, how are you guys?
Oh, you naughty thing. How you going?
You miss me?
I miss you every day. When I wake up alone, I think of you.
I'm still waiting for a copy of my book I haven't received yet.
Haven't you received it yet?
Join the club, Michelle.
And I wanted to read it and so I could comment on it.
All right. Sorry, Michelle. I'll get that away today. And Tommy's going to get a copy for his birthday as well. Did you have a bit of a saucy message for Tom on his birthday, Minxie?
God. I just want to say have a good one.
Yeah, you have a good
and
one.
Enjoy yourself.
And a good birthday.
Thanks, Michelle.
Yeah.
I'll hand deliver the copy of the Far Too Personal Trainer today to your house.
That'd be great.
Michelle, I don't know what you often do to celebrate birthdays, but Tom was hoping for a bit of a massage or something. Would that be out of the question?
No
Michelle?
need for
not
that.
a problem.
Yeah. All righty, I thought you might be
along.
Come along.
will.
She wants you both.
Oh,
you mate.
Don't
You will
worry about it.
regret that, Michelle.
More than once, I reckon, Michelle.
There we go.
Oh,
What fun.
that is great news.
But now, who do we give the annual family pass
Taronga Zoo
to
friends?
Taronga Zoo,
The membership. Kate, who was the caller you'd like to do?
Oh, goodness. What? Can we... I don't know. I can't... my brain is fried. I can't make a decision.
Right.
It has to be Michael.
It's got to be Michael in Kellyville. Mick, congratulations. Your tribute, your 50th. An annual family pass to Taronga Zoo. Get 365 days of fun with Taronga Zoo Friends membership. Get yours online at tarongazoo.com.
Oh, no.
Maybe Kate will read that one tomorrow.
This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
I want to know if you're listening and you work in a call centre, give us a call.
Okay. Reverse. It's like Gogglebox of radio.
do the calling today, because I want to know whether a story I read last week, I think it was in Lad Bible or one of those.
My favourite.
Yeah, one of those.
Cook Slams.
About call centres and the fact that when you're put on hold, that the people at the call centre, they can still hear what you're saying. And if they can still hear what you're saying, I'm a little bit worried. Because I think that when I'm put on hold, then I'm muted.
Yeah.
And they can't hear me.
I just assumed that was the case.
No, the article itself says, I'm trying to get the details here because Tommy and I were talking about it in the office, is that we need to find out whether this is true or not, because they did say that just because you put on hold doesn't mean we can't hear you. Because I don't know if it's them being sneaky. You know how firstly they say that the call may be monitored or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they might put you on hold. Are they putting you on hold and secretly listening into your call? Like
testing you.
maybe you've called the car insurance place and you're trying to dodgy up something, and then you're put on hold and you're saying to your wife, don't worry, I'll get, I know you scratched the car, but we've come up with this story, and they're actually catching people out.
Do you reckon they hear you say things like, that is it, I'm moving to Optus? And you could almost use it as a tactical way. So they go, oh, he's going to leave this provider, we better look after him. And then they'd hear me say, I tell you what, I'm not sticking around for the bloody survey at the end. Everything has a survey at the end.
I know. Do you know what I got surveyed on the
I
other
don't
day?
want surveys.
On Friday, before I went to the Taylor Swift concert, my phone is just in a really bad way. I need a brand new phone. The whole back of it is all kind of smashed. It's basically being held together by the phone cover. And then I'd lost the phone cover when we went to Scone last week.
Yep.
So I go into one of those phone places, and the guy is lovely, but he did upsell me on things that I needed. So he put the case on, and he was saying to me how nice I was, and I was like, oh, that's nice. And I said, well, you're my hero today. And I bought a red phone cover, and I bought a thing so I could hang it around my wrist for the Taylor
What's this got
concert.
to do with being on hold, mate?
No, because then he got me. Then he said to me, do you mind if you think I'm so great? Because I said he was a hero. Do you mind doing a quick survey when after this? And I was like, of course. But then when I got to the counter to pay, I had to do the survey on the computer in front of him before I left the store.
Just do the one with the smiley face. Out of 5, I'd give me 5.
No, I had to write something.
Oh, my God. Jess in Liverpool, you work in a call centre, is that right?
I do, yeah.
Jess, what industry are you in? I mean, sorry, what industry do you work for?
Insurance.
Okay, now, Jess, is there any truth in the fact that I've heard when people are put on hold that you can still dip into that call, that you can still hear them?
You can't hear them, but what I do if I'm stressed on someone, I tell them I'm putting them on hold, but I mute them. So I'm muting myself technically, but I can hear what they're saying, so they think they're muted.
Right, do you do that much, Jess?
No. So one time I did that and I caught someone out lying pretty much. So it worked in my favour.
Yeah, so you could hear them then having a conversation with someone else in the room.
Yes, and it was a fraudulent conversation.
How good is that, Jess? See, that would be, I mean, especially in insurance, you'd think that would be a good angle. Thank you for your call. Rob in Glenmore Park, you're in a call centre.
Yeah, I am. Morning, guys. How are we?
You do sound like a call centre kind of guy, Rob. What industry, mate?
So I've done a couple of different industries: insurance, general sales, customer service, all of those type of things.
Okay, and are you listening in to people when you say they're being put on hold?
Well, there's a couple of things that can happen when you go on hold. So I actually manage a call centre at the moment. There's a couple of different things that can happen. So your call being recorded is 100% accurate, and it actually still records you while you're on hold. So if I was to go back and listen to the call in some software, I can still hear what you're saying.
What?
Yeah.
So if I'm yelling, if, Amanda is yelling at the children,
you'd hear
like
it.
you might not even catch her out about the car insurance, she's trying to dodgy something up. Sometimes when you put on hold, don't tell me you're not yelling at the kids to get in the bath or something.
Of course you are, and you would hear all of that on the record, Rob.
Yeah, you can hear that, yeah. So some places I've worked still record while you're on hold, so we can hear everything you're saying. Like the caller prior, we can put you on mute rather than hold, so we'll tell you we're putting you on hold, but you're actually on mute, so we can still hear what you're saying. And then there is some times when you are on hold, the other person can still hear you. Right. So depending on the software the company uses.
Okay, now Rob, have you caught anyone out this way or heard anything particularly saucy or interesting?
You can definitely hear some very interesting conversations when you've got someone on mute, because it's very real time. So when you go back to them, you have to try and be very interested in how you replay the conversation back to them, because you've obviously heard different things that they've said. And you need to then get them to tell you that information without them knowing you've heard them.
Oh, so they're not allowed to know that you've been listening.
On it. Thanks, Rob. You don't know a girl called Jenny that works for the e-toll business that I had a fight with the other day? Can you tell her to go away? Because I spent 15 minutes fighting over $6.
Why?
Just tolls.
Well, it looks like you're looking for an argument.
Doesn't matter. Thanks, Rob. Appreciate the call.
The Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
I've got something for you here, Whipper. Okay. Earlier in the show, you were talking about the fact that you have weaponised incompetence going on in your house.
What a great term.
Meaning you have done so many jobs so badly around the house that Lisa, your wife, has said, I'm in charge of that and I'm in charge of that. And slowly but surely, your list of demands funds on a daily basis are dwindling.
Oh, dropped rapidly.
This story I saw floating around on the weekend is about a man, and I'm sure this dilemma is going on in many, many houses. Maybe you have some advice for me, or maybe people listening do, because I don't know how you get around the fact that you might think that you're a good guy, right? But you're working, and that's what
me,
this,
yeah. That's me.
that's what this story is. He thinks he's showing up. He also has a full-time job. He's working 50 to 60 hours a week as a carpenter.
Yep.
His wife, lovely wife, is at home. Well, she was lovely, but I think that they are both at each other now. She's got 2 kids at home. He is getting it in the neck, as they say, that he's not doing quite enough around the house, and he's pulling his hair out, or what's left of it, trying to work out how he can step up more. When he's doing that many hours, he's what he does is he's up at the crack of dawn and out of the house. He's coming home, he showers, he puts his own clothes in the washing machine. I know you're not allowed to use.
I'm not allowed to do that anymore.
Use
go in the laundry.
The washing machine. He's washing his workwear. He has dinner, which has the cooking is the wife's responsibility. He's put the kids to bed. He's read a story, and then he's falling into bed at 8:30.
Yep.
But they are at each other because he can't do more. And I think the issue is, I'm just going to call her Jenny.
Yeah, Jenny.
I don't know if that's her name.
That's definitely Jenny.
Jenny and Craig.
Okay, Jenny and Craig, yep.
She thinks he's at work every day just having a great time with his friends, and then he comes home and doesn't do anything.
He's a carpenter, Jenny.
And I guess maybe he thinks that she's got a lot of time at home.
Yep.
One kid's at school, one is not. What do you do?
What do you do? Well, there's no answer. Jenny needs to... You know what? This is what should happen. Bring your wife to work day so they can actually see what you do. So Jenny comes to work with Jesus and sees him as Craig as a carpenter, putting together a house, creating a stable place of shelter for a family. So she can see the work that he does. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's smoko for 3 hours a day. He probably has 5 pies and a few gaspers, and he could get home earlier, but he's not wasting time. Or the other thing you do is go, okay, I tell you what, Jenny, I'm not going to work for a while. And then Jenny says, can we get Uber Eats? And Jesus turns around and says... Oh,
you were doing so well up until then. I thought you were going to say, and you know what also we should do is Craig should stay home and go to work with Jenny for the day. Because that is her job, and so he can fully understand the level of her work commitments.
So we should have a national swap the role day.
Maybe.
So that the man can go and do what the girl does, the woman does, and vice versa. So then you've got a clearer understanding of what the other person does. Imagine your man coming in here to see that you do 2 hours a day. And then go, I've got to get my nails. I've got to get to USA nails.
Is that what I don't go to USA nails? What are you even talking about?
Pilates.
Oh my gosh!
So,
you make my job feel so easy. Do you know what you do? Okay, here we go.
Extra hour.
If you're going to do that, you do the extra hour in the morning, but it's not really an extra hour. I mean, you're faffing about talking to some listeners about what they think, and then after the show, you know what you do?
Yep.
You hide in the office for 4 hours.
Yes, you do, darling. If you're listening
and
no way. Go and get your nails done.
Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie is a Nova podcast. For more great shows like this, download the Nova Player via the App Store or Google Play.
The Nova Player.